All right, it's your guy, Deconverted Man here, tossing around words incorrect meanings by this guy called Topics of Religion. His channel isn't about topics of religion; it's about his view of his religion. So it's already not a real channel name, but whatever. So this guy complained about people not using words correctly in this video, and there's nothing like to say about it. But he made a claim in the video. He made several claims in the video about atheists. So, and he mentioned the term gaslighting. Now, gaslighting as a term means when you try to convince somebody that something didn't happen. It's like, you owe me that 20. Don't you owe me $20? What do you mean? No, I don't owe you $20. Yeah, no, like, you know, remember last week you said that you were going to give me $20? No, so you're gaslighting them. I don't know why it's called that. Uh, I don't really particularly like the term, but it's gotten somewhat popular-ish. But anyways, it just means trying to convince that somebody of something that happened that didn't really happen, or trying to convince them that something, yeah, didn't happen that did happen, or what, so changing the past basically and manipulating them with words. So, uh, my comment on his video, which I thought was rather amusing to me at any rate, was gaslighting was never really a real word. Someone made it up, and the government wanted to make people believe it was real in psyops. And see that little symbol there? That's a winky face, meaning I'm joking, right? And then depending on what your argument is, you might produce logical fallacies in said argument. And knowing the names of the fallacies, since he brought that up in the video, is a good thing. But knowing informal logic is key, because without that, you can't know if your argument is valid and sound. Given that, I would like to know, have you learned informal logic? For one, all terms are made up. Well, I mean, that's not the. Yeah, okay. But it's a word that's tossed around atheists to discount what theists say and used improperly. The word gaslighting, apparently. Okay. What you're doing is discounting me by saying rubbish. The point to this video is that atheists ignore dictionary definitions and use words and phrases incorrectly. You missed the points entirely. No, I didn't. I was making fun of your video. It's not a logical fallacy. I was directing the point of use of gaslighting was not used correctly. I never said it was a logical fallacy. You're not reading what I wrote. Immoral logic isn't the correct term. I worked in mental health, and moral reasoning is the correct term. Well, I don't know what immoral logic is, since I said informal logic, not immoral logic. So I said, again, gaslighting is clearly fake, And see that face that I did? That means it's a joke. It's not to be taken seriously. Now, you made a number of claims in your above writings. Atheists toss around the word gaslighting. How many? In what way? Examples? Atheists ignore dictionary definitions. How many? What ways? Examples? And use the words and phrases incorrectly. Once more, how many? What ways? Examples? Do you have enough data points to show that a number of the group of people haven't done factors to make a proper conclusion? If so, please provide the data. If not, how do you arrive at the conclusion? As far as informal logic, it is indeed a real thing that you can learn. In it, you would learn about logical fallacies and how arguments work. I asked you if you have studied it, what is your answer to that question? I'm not listing all those examples. Okay, so he doesn't want to give me the data. After doing so many videos, don't have time. The points in this video have been made, yes, generalizing, but since I have many examples of videos, I'm not listing one again for you. That is not a job for me. Yes, it is. You made a claim. You have the burden of proof. If you don't want to show the data, then you don't have the data. Now you list out a bunch of videos that I'm supposed to look at, and we will, because it's going to be funny to see if he's right at all. As a deep dive, maybe I could see if anyone actually does misuse definitions at all, or if he just thinks that they do, just to show him proper data collection. By the way, he banned me. Not a surprise, but okay. But yeah, if you're basing it, if you haven't kept track of what the atheist said and have some sort of document that shows that data, then you're basing your idea on memory, which is not data. So this isn't really data. 100% of atheists respond that it didn't suffice. I don't know what he's talking about now. There's no way to please an atheist. Also have vids on the way atheists are like Antifa. It's called Entitled Atheists too. What the? What? Antifa? What are you talking about? So you really don't have the data points at all. Got it. I know you didn't answer my question. Have you or have you not learned informal logic? So I'll ask again. Have you learned informal logic? I answered you. I said that's not a real thing. Okay, now let's stop right here. Okay. Informal logic on Wikipedia. Definition and examples of informal logic. Here is a thing about that. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, that's just some random website. Okay, let's see. Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Here's an article on informal logic. Okay. Books on informal logic. Okay. Let's see. Oh, look. Here's a whole website about informal logic. All right. Let's see. Oh, here's another book on informal logic. Here's a paper somebody wrote about informal logic. Here's a Stanford. Here's another paper somebody wrote about informal logic. Let's see. Here's Cambridge University, who published Informal Logic and Pragmatic Approach book. And there's this, informal logic abstract paper here. So, I think that informal logic is a real thing, buddy. And you got that wrong. You didn't even read the word correctly. But I've been shadow banned. Of course I have. Does anybody actually want a deep dive of looking at those other videos to see if the atheist did actually get the definitions wrong or not? Let me know in the comments below. That'd be great. Until next time, be skeptical. And after next time, stay skeptical.